A very good afternoon to all. Sorry for the delay. Just checking if you all can hear me, see me, or see the presentation on the screen. If some of you can just type yes in the chat box for assurance, it would be very kind of you. Okay, just checking again if you all can hear me or if you can see me, if I'm audible, or if you can see the presentation on the screen, please confirm on the chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yeah. So shall we begin? Hello and welcome to all. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Srinidhi Kamath. I'm the manager of admissions here at Tapmi Manipal. I welcome you all to the first edition of Tapmi Web Connect series. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. So after the presentation today, you'll leave with information on admission process, the placement scenario, and the popular events that happen at Tapmi beyond academia. And also to make sure that we're helping you as best as we can on the topic, we have a chat box to source your questions. If you have any questions at any point, please feel free to drop them on the chat box below and we shall address it at the end of the session. Also, do not worry about making any notes immediately since we'll be uploading this on YouTube and this will be accessible to you at any point in time. Let me introduce you to the pros who will be taking you through the seminar today. We have with us Professor Madhuvira Raghavan, who's the director of Tapmi, also the executive director of Management Studies MAHE. We also have Professor Sudhir Reddy, who's the chairperson of Placements and Corporate Engagement. And we have Professor Aniruddha Chatterjee, who's the chairperson of Admissions. I welcome you, Professor.
Thank you, Srinidhi.
Now, without further ado, I invite Professor Madhuvir Raghavan to begin the seminar by introducing Tapmi to you all. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Srinidhi, and a very good afternoon to all of you who have joined from different parts of the country. If you could just let me know, A, I'm audible, and B, the slides are visible. Able to hear me? You just type on the chat box, that'd be great. Okay. Able to hear me, guys? Can I go forward? Okay, thank you. So, welcome to the first Web Connect series. I want to start with this beautiful picture of the campus. It's a 44.11 acre campus, a drone shot of the campus. I always like to start my presentations with the Tapmi pictures. And I'm sure many of you would also make it, and you will come and study with us for 2 years. So next I have is another picture of the campus. This is also a wonderful picture of the student center. It has the main block, and I'll show you that in the next one. The greens that you see is the Tapmi Greens Knowledge Center. So it's got, I mean, you may not be able to see the buildings specifically labeled, but you will be able to see in the next couple of slides where I show you. But this is one of the most stunning pictures of the campus as well. Then this is the TMAPI block, the main building at Tapmi. So this is where the PGP1 classes. In fact, we are talking to you from this building. I'm currently in this building in the conference room with Anirudh, Sudhir, and Srinidhi, and we're talking from this building. My office is in this building. and all the PGP1 classes actually take place in this building, called the TMI block. Right opposite this building is the knowledge center and the sort of Tapmi greens. You can see a little bit of Tapmi greens, but you'll see a little bit more in the next picture, I guess. This is the KK block, entrance to the second floor, which leads you to the famed Tapmi Finance lab, right? There are 16 Bloomberg terminals, 7 Reuters terminals, one of the most powerful terminals we have, and it's 24/7 access to PGP1 and PGP2 students, irrespective of what major, what program you're doing. But of course, the banking and finance students probably even sleep in this lab because much of the projects are actually all done through the Bloomberg terminals and Reuters. They spend a lot of time, but everybody, every Tapmian is encouraged to use it because you will need to do it when you get to your workplace. So it's important. And we spend a lot of money in getting this high-end terminals. This is part of the library called the Founders Area. Excuse me. When you come to Tapmi, you will have to spend a bit of time in the library. Of course, you have to spend a lot of time in the library. But the Founders Area, you should, to know more about the founder. In the next 1-2 slides, I'll talk a little bit about who our founder is and what a great visionary Letshi Tepai was. That I will do that in a minute. But this is inside the library called the Founders Area. This is a picture of the finance lab, as I told you. 16 Bloomberg terminals, Reuters terminals. It's a beautifully set up lab. It seats up to 40 students. 50 if you can push it, but 40 very comfortably. Inside you can see a few doors. So there are a few rooms where you can go in and study, and you can form your team strategy for investments or whatever else you want to do. This lab is open 24 hours, 7 days a week through a swipe card. Again, this is buzzing with activity pretty much all the evenings, right? Our founder, it's very important to know about the founder. You're coming to a great school. So our founder, Letshi Tepai, born in Tonsei, Karnataka, 1922. He graduated in commerce in Sydenham, and then he was appointed as chairman of LIC the 70s, and then he was elected to Rajya Sabha. He was the minister for railways, and he was conferred the Padma Bhushan. Right, in 73, he was given the Doctor of Literature by government of Karnataka, and in 80, we established the TAPI Management Institute, Manipal. So that's a quick background about our founder. About us, about Tapmi, many of you may know, but I thought it'd be useful to quickly highlight to you in one single slide. Approximately, there are 4,000 B schools in India, students. We are one of the top 20 B schools, consistently ranked in the top 20. We are one of 5 B schools to have double crown both AAC, SB, and AMBA. We got re-accredited just recently. We are one of 6 B schools to have the QS ranking as well. We are the prime champions declared just a couple of days ago for the 22-23 cycle. We ranked 38 in the NIR of rankings. We have a very large campus, 44.11 acre campus, and absolutely world-class facilities. I mean, if you look at the lecture rooms and stuff like that, you'll just be blown away by the sort of infrastructure work that's happening inside the campus. Excuse me. So what are the key priorities? There are 3 specific priorities that I would like to highlight. On education, we want to share our knowledge and ideas with tomorrow's business leaders, and we have been creating great leaders. We want to build capability for the future. That's important. In terms of research, we want to be able to create new ideas, cutting-edge research, almost pushing the frontiers of the knowledge, if you like. We also look at issues that impact our society environment. We play a very huge role, and we take it very seriously as well. In terms of community, which is something really central to Tapmi, we work with local, national, global communities. And in this aspect, we also want to be able to demonstrate significant leadership. So Tapmians, as should be called, once you convocate, you will have a great head on your shoulders, there is no question. But we also want you to have a sense of humility. We want you to be humble. We want you to be great leaders. And we've been creating great leaders since 1980, right? So we've been there for 4 decades. We know exactly what we're doing. But we play an integral role in community building as well. Rankings and accolades. Many of you would have looked at this sort of stuff before you applied to Tapmi. I think accreditation is more important than ranking. I can clearly sort of delineate and highlight the importance, but be that as it may, you may also want to look at these rankings and accolades. So you can see pretty much everywhere You know how Tapmi's programs are ranked very highly. There's BW World, Outlook, CSR, Career 360. You can see the ASCSB AMBA logo. You can see the Prime Champions logo. So we are a very powerful B school. What do we offer? You know, there are 5 MBA programs we offer. The MBA Core, MBA Banking and Financial Services, MBA in HR, Marketing, and very newly launched MBA in International Business. We have 7,000 plus alumni. We have a wonderful YLP. This is the MBA Core, the Young Leader Program. We have a fabulous global exposure. There's an international immersion that happens for this program. We have personalized sort of, curriculum. We make sure that, cutting edge stuff happens. We have great committee opportunities. We do develop leadership opportunities for you. We have unbroken placement record. Sudhir Reddy is here from the placement team, the chair of placement team. He'll talk a little bit later about placements as well. And our program is accredited by both ASCSB and AMBA, and also by the National Board of Accreditation, the NBA. So all the 5 programs are AACT approved. All the 5 programs I'm going to talk to you about are residential, and they're all 2-year programs. Each program has its own distinct advantages. Now let's move to the BKFS program, right? Again, the program is one of the, I think it's the only program in India that's got both the CFA and therefore GARP approved. You've got a fabulous training opportunity, SBI. There are scholarships for CFA students, CFA clearance, 100% placement. In this year, in fact, we have a record jump in the average salary. We have outstanding faculty, both from industry and from academia. So the program is a very, very well sought program around the country. Most top banks, investment houses, consulting firms literally look for these guys. So we take only 16 in the program. We've only been taking one section. We can take more, but we won't. We'll stick to one section only in this program. HRM is SHRM approved. Again, it's a very nice program we've launched. This is also ACSB AMBA approved. There is a wonderful role you play with the LADC, excellent curriculum. Again, we bring in a lot of practitioners when we do the HR program as well. We bring in, of course, our faculty. All of our faculty are either PhDs or very close to completing PhD programs from top schools. Every faculty that we have across areas are outstanding researchers and have got consulting experience, industry experience. So all of that is brought into the program. And again, I'll show you the placement statistics for the HR program in a couple of minutes. The MBA marketing, again, it's a different program. In India, I don't think there is any program that actually focuses on sales. And today, you won't believe it, there are so many companies that they're saying, sir, we want to be able to create chief sales officers. But there is not a single program in India that does it. So we moved at lightning pace and we created this excellent program, although it's called MBA marketing. There is a significant focus also on sales, on digital, on product marketing. So, we have made sure that every program we offer, the 5 programs we offer, are A, cutting edge, B, completely industry relevant, and C, each of these programs is guided by a program advisory board, which consists of very, very senior industry practitioners. So they come and say, Professor Madhu, this is really good, but I think you can have a few more courses on this aspect. Would you like to drop this course and substitute this with insert? So this is important for us to get constructive and critical feedback. So MBA marketing also, although it's a new program, but has been doing very, very well. And I'll show you the placement statistics for that in a minute. The new kid on the block, or the new baby at Tapmi, is the MBA IB, which is the international business. We only will take 30 students. Again, there are very few schools in India that does this. The IB program, like the MBA core, will also be able to do international immersion. We have an absolutely world-class curriculum in the IB. So those of you who apply to the international business program would also be able to see the alignment we do with industry. We talk about sustainability, international business, of course, then ensuring that you also get outstanding opportunities, both at internships and placements, like all the other 4 programs. So as you can see, all 5 programs have got a distinct focus. We try not to overlap. There are some commonalities across courses, which needs to be maintained for accreditation reasons also. But largely, a basket of electives that you have for these programs are truly world-class. You can really compete with the best of the best schools. Guys, I don't know how many of you are aware, but we take sustainability very seriously. no lip service. It's front and center, mainstream at Tapmi, 17 SDGs. Just before I end the presentation, I'll show you very quickly the sort of projects we've been working on in the sustainability space. Placements, I want to spend a couple of minutes about placements. Would you do that? So I'm going to request my colleague Sudhir Reddy, who's the chairperson of placements, to take you through the placement report. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to stay back until the end. And if you have any questions, very pleased to take those.
Okay, good afternoon. This is Professor Sudhir. I'm the head of placements and corporate engagement office at Tapmi. Thank you, Professor Madhu. So before I start, I want to reiterate the message that Professor Madhu had mentioned. This year, PGD and BKFS, we have reached the 100% placements mark. The average has been spectacular. Average CTC, we have done almost 25% more than the previous year. This year it is 15.7. All these stats will be out soon, on the websites and so on Tapmi website, and also the emailers have gone out yesterday, day before yesterday, with more details on all the average CTCs, right? So I'll focus on the broader picture. Okay, so to start with, last year we have done, these were the numbers. Out of 554, we have done 100% placement. This is the entire batch comprising of all the 4 programs. So this year we have an additional program, that is IB, International Business, but last year we had 4 programs. And as Professor Madhu mentioned, past 36 years, we've been doing 100% placement. That is the another thing that I want to mention about the last year as well. Now I'm moving on to this current year, that is the graduating batch 2023. I'm just going to be focusing on the key stats here. The other details, such as average stats for all the 4 programs, are going to be mailed by separate mailers or be put up also on the website, right? So, but as you can see, both in front of the average CTC and the top 50, 100, 150, and 200, we have seen a remarkable jump as compared to the last year, and that there's a story behind that. I'm going to explain that. Okay, so before I get into the crux of the matter, I want to also touch upon something called pre-placement offers. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. What happens is, when you finish your internship after your first year, depending on your performance, the recruiter may also offer you something called pre-placement offer, which is also known as PPO. So this year, we had a phenomenal 28% of the batch that received almost 135 PPOs, right? That's the highest so far. As compared to last year, it was 81. And effectively, what it means is that out of the current batch, 1 in 4 is having or holding a PPO and is not even sitting through the placement process, and has got a job at the beginning of second year itself, right? So that is the PPO story this year. And the stipends also, we've seen that the past 3 years it's been growing. This year also we have seen 1,20,000. That's a monthly stipend. We've been maintaining that consistently. So what kind of roles that are being offered? I want to spend a little bit of time here because we talk about, say, this year close to 490 students that are part of the current batch, right? So we have various recruiters coming and offering roles across sectors. And I want to start with the first sector, the most important sector, that is consulting. So the consulting is close to almost 40% of the batch gets into this bucket. We have business consultants, we have functional consultants, as well as tech consultant roles that are all part of this. As I mentioned, 40% of this, the students get placed in this bucket. And it is the cream of the cream, because you have all the big 4, as well as the big guns in the tech, as well as the functional consultants coming and offering these roles. Moving on to the next sector, which is the BFSI sector. Again, this we have close to 24 to, BFSI is around 35% of the batch got placed in this sector. Again, you can see the roles offered by investment banks, commercial banks, retail banks, wealth management, fin advisory, equity research houses, and so on. And you have a fantastic array of roles that are being offered in this profile bucket, BFSI sector, even insurance in that. So moving on to the next bucket, which is set of buckets, marketing, operations, and HR. As you can see, the marketing also this year, given the robust domestic demand, we have a very good participation by the retail and FMCG companies. We got very, very good recruiters. I'm going to show that in a minute, the key recruiters. Yes. So, sorry about that. Can you go back, please? Yeah, I'm there. Okay. There's a little bit of technical slack there. Okay. So, talking about the key recruiters are basically, as you can see, a very high quality pool of recruiters that visit Tapmi, offering all those roles that I just described earlier. So these recruiters are, if I can say, there are two types of recruiters. One is the existing recruiters who have been coming repeatedly to Tapmi. The other set are those recruiters that are coming first time. But how do we get these recruiters to visit Tapmi, visit our campus in a very remote location such as Manipal? The key answer for that is relationship, right? So we build relationships and we nurture relationships and ensure that these key recruiters always think Tapmi when they think about jobs, right? Whom to offer, which B school to go to. So that is how we ensure that the recruiters come to Tapmi campus and offer all those roles. And how do we do that? Again, the existing and those who are repeatedly coming, we ensure that, as Professor Madhu mentioned earlier, we have different programs where the senior leadership from the key recruiters are invited to be part of the advisory board. We encourage the recruiters to collaborate with us as part of academics, which is co-design, co-deliver the courses. We get them to interact with our students, deliver practitioner workshops, live projects, and so on. That way, the collaboration is not transactional. It is not only for placements and internships, but beyond that, which is much more holistic and long-term. So that is how we build relationships with these key recruiters and get them to partner with us and ensure that they keep coming back to us. So that is as far as the existing recruiters are concerned. Now, if we talk about how do we build relations with the new recruiters, so that is where we have a couple of avenues. We have, let me start with Ignite. Ignite is a lecture series that happens throughout the year. We invite these new tech, the new age firms, which are in the fintech, the insurtech, and many other sunrise sectors to come and interact with our students and deliver their insights based on their practice. And that's how students gain the knowledge. And in that interaction, the recruiter also will be able to understand the talent that is there at Tapmi. Now, talking about Disha, that is the second avenue. So Disha is a conclave. There's an annual conclave that happens once in a year. We invite the senior leaders across the corporate India. This includes, this year we have done close to 150 executives, both digital as well as on campus. I meant virtual and on campus across 6 days. So they have done events such as, apart from the regular guest lectures, of course, you have career counseling sessions, you have corporate competitions, you have panel discussions, roundtable conferences, and so on. So they have a very good opportunity over 6 days to interact with the Tapmi talent, and they get impressed and then come back for the recruitment. That's what happened this year as well. So close to 90% is existing recruiters, but around 10% is the new recruiters, right? So that's how we leverage this. And let's not forget also 7,000 plus alumni that Professor Madhu talked about. We have very strong alumni network, and these alumni come back to us with their internal requirements, and that's how we also get access and get the doors open for our students. So moving on, so this is the second piece. The second piece is that, okay, we bring all those opportunities to the table, right? Then how do we get our students to crack those opportunities and convert, right? So So how do we do that? We have a very comprehensive competency development program, which we call CDP, that happens twice a year. The first one happens in PGP1, the second one happens in PGP2. So this program ensures that you guys are ready to crack those opportunities and convert and ensure that the maximum skill set and arsenal is there with you in order to take on the challenges, right? The placement challenges. So what do we do this in this program? So we got two professional agencies, as I mentioned, coming and delivering this program. This happens outside the academic coursework. So this is entirely run by two set of agencies. So what do? They first come and sanitize you with respect to what kind of career opportunities that are there. So they let you know, what kind of career path that you can, align yourself to. And then depending on that, then you get to prepare your, kind of the CVs that are very, very profile specific. They guide you with that. And they also then guide you with several of these GD sessions and the new age so-called, case competitions that the recruiters are now demanding. So all those workshops are delivered and ensure that you have enough opportunities to participate in mock GDs and mock case sessions and so on. And after that, we have a very unique, activity that is that's part of the CDP, which is a profile-based mock interview. Imagine you have a one-on-one interview with a expert in that domain doing a profile-based interview for you guys. I mean, this is not done in any other B school. So this happens as a part of the CDP, and in the end, you are given feedback on your improvement areas and so on. So in summary, what I wanted to just highlight is that you have our set of recruiters who are where we nurture, build relationships and bring them to the campus for a set of opportunities, and then also equip you with enough competencies to crack those opportunities. So that's what we do at our placement and corporate engagement office. So that's why I end with respect to all these stats and so on. In very few days, we're going to be putting all of these stats up on our website, because we are very, very close to completing our placement cycle for all the programs. As I mentioned, BKFS is already done. We're almost there for the remaining three as well. So over to you now, Srinidhi. I'm done with the placements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sudhir. That was very informative and encouraging at the same time. I now request Professor Aniruddha, the chairperson of admissions, to share information and insights on admissions criteria. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Srinidhi. It's lovely talking to the audience who want to know more about Tapmi. So I'll be talking about the admissions process, eligibility. So starting with eligibility, as many of you would have already seen in the prospectus, the basic requirement is that the person applying should have a graduate degree from a recognized university with not less than 50% marks. Final year students can also apply, and we expect that the final year student, if they are submitting the results afterwards, they should have obtained minimum 50% in the graduation. The entrance exams that we are considering for admissions 2023-2025 batch are these four, which are on your screen. The CAT exam, which has already happened. The ZAT is scheduled on 8th of January. We also consider GMAT scores. Please mind that if you are giving the GMAT exam, let us know of your GMAT score by 31st of January, because after that, we'll not be able to accommodate your scores. So right now, if you want to fill the form, if you want to submit the form, write GMAT as your option. And once you get your scorecard, you can edit in the results section while you are completing the form. Apart from that, Tapmi is also accepting NMAT, which is a very good examination, very upcoming examination. Many of the top B schools are using the NMAT scores. And I'll next come to some of the critical questions that you have been asking for quite some time. One is the issue of cutoff. So the point is, when when we take students, we are really looking for students who have done very well in the entrance exams, students who are really bright academically and otherwise. At the same time, the world is becoming more complex. Companies are looking for leaders who have multiple skills, skills like critical thinking, skills like communication, confidence, creativity, ability to manage diversity, uncertainty, and so on. Now, we believe that the score in one exam may not be reflective of all these qualities, right? And this we know from some of the very good companies that come here for placement. They are looking for diverse profiles. They are looking for candidates with multiple skills and abilities, right? Also, I want to highlight that we have multiple programs. So a candidate who's applying for MBA will need to have different skills, and they will have a different career trajectory. A candidate who is applying for IB will have a different skill requirement, right? So that is why we are going ahead in the coming years with profile-based selection, which means that we are looking at the experience of the candidate. We are looking whether the candidate has leadership qualities, whether they are good in communication, whether they are able to influence people, whether they have conviction, whether they have clarity about what they want to do in the life, right? And that is why it can be quite possible that there are students who are at different percentiles or percentage in the entrance examination, but the one who has a little lower score maybe, but has more skills, might get through the Tapmi admission process. Of course, once we do that, ultimately, once we do the shortlisting, ultimately it is in the candidate's hands to perform well in the group discussion section, in the personal interview section. So what I would suggest is we do not have a specific cutoff. We are looking for candidates who are more flexible, of course intelligent, but more flexible and who understand business world, right? Now, and this is the trend which, if you see many of the comparable top B schools, they are also going ahead with. They are looking at the entire personality, the entire profile of the candidate, rather than the performance of a candidate in one particular exam on one particular day, right? So, what I'll sincerely suggest is, if you are a candidate who has reasonably good academic record, who has some work experience, or even if you don't have work experience, you believe that you have good communication skills, you have some achievements, please do mention all that in the statement of purpose section in the form, and that way we will know about your profile. And finally, the cutoff will be declared sometime after we have received all your applications, right? The total intake for this year, for the next year, 23-25 batch, will be somewhere around 500 to 530 across all streams, across all specializations. The application fees, as you know, is 1850 rupees for a single program, 2450 for 2 programs, 3200 for 3 programs, and 4000 for 4 programs. We've decided that a candidate can apply to a maximum of 4 programs. About the NMAT examination, if you are thinking whether my second NMAT score would be taken or the third NMAT score would be considered, we encourage you to apply with your best NMAT score. We will consider any of the 3 attempts in which you have scored your maximum. So that is not any problem. The fees for 23-25 is 8.25 lakhs per year, and Tapmi also has the scheme for multiple kinds of scholarships, which enables a student to get 30% of their tuition fees waived in the form of scholarship. And moreover, we give scholarships to 50 students each year. Apart from that, there are multiple awards which are based on merit and the performance during performance that students are able to put up in the 2 years that they spend here at Tapmi. Of course, we also have tie-ups with multiple banks which provide healthy education loans at a very reasonable rate. So many students also explore that option. Please note that the last date for applying for Tapmi admissions is 20th of December, which is just a few days from now. If you have any queries, questions, please write to the Tapmi email ID, which is admissions.tapmi@manipal.edu. You can also visit our website, which is tapmi.manipal.edu. tapmi.edu.in, and we'll be able to help you with all kinds of information that you might look for, right? Can we have questions? Nidhi, thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Aniruddha. I think we can take a few questions now. I'll go with the sequence. So somebody has asked, when is the last date to apply? It's already been mentioned. It is 20th of December. I want to know if we can apply for Tapmi via NMAT. Yes, we are open to accepting scores by NMAT this year. What is the cutoff of NMAT for Tapmi? Aniruddha, would you like to take up this?
As I just mentioned, there is no specific cutoff that we are looking for. It might be possible that a candidate who has a couple of points lesser than someone else, but has a greater profile, gets through. So we are not looking at any specific one figure as a cutoff. Once we receive all the applications, once we go through the profiles, we'll take a call, and most probably we'll try to accommodate many candidates for the interview round.
We also have a question. Can I apply for Tapmi if my percentile ranges from 83 to 85 percentile in CAT?
Yes, anyone around that percentage, I'm strongly encouraging them to apply. Again, as I said, we are not looking for a specific figure. We'll accommodate students who have multiple skills and they are reasonably good in education, in academics and entrance tests.
There are a lot of cutoff questions. We will be informing you about all the cutoffs on the website. So I request you to please visit our website and all our social handles, the verified handles for all legitimate information, please. Okay, and I'll go ahead. Please share the selection procedure through NMAT for upcoming batch.
So once we receive all the scores for NMAT and ZAT results, which will come out sometime during the end of January, we'll prepare the short list, and then according to the merit, we will ask candidates to appear for the interview. So the process is almost the same that we have been following for our other exams, which is CAT, ZAT, and GMAT.
We have one question. Could you throw some light on the international business program that was introduced last year? Professor Madhu, would you like to?
Okay, yeah. So the IB program is a 2-year program with a specific focus on creating careers in multinational corporations, of course, across borders. I think Tapmi is one of very few schools that to have a very strong international business program. We have outstanding faculty to be able to run this program. And we obviously work with Sudhir's office to make sure that we get excellent internships and on placements. The focus is on global exposure, which is why the IB cohort, which is only 30, we only take 30 students in this program. It's an AICTE approved program. We only take 30 students, and these 30 students also travel with the MBA core program students to Dubai for the immersion. So as I told you when I did my presentation, that every program has its own uniqueness, and IB program has it. We're also going to work with global bodies for accreditation of the IB program. Of course, we'll have the AMBA ASASB accreditation already, so that will happen for this program as well because it's a Tapmi program. And we are building a lot of field visits and field trips in this program. So we're looking for a very diverse sort of cohort. In fact, the first batch has it. We have excellent set of electives cutting across IB management, strategy, and so on and so forth. We're also working on recruiting some very senior industry practitioners to be able to teach these courses. So you'll find that all these programs have generally provide you with great fundamentals in the first year and a lot of applications in the second year. So the PGP1 is generally taught by core faculty across all programs, and PGP2, you bring in a lot of industry experts. And IB is no different to that. Since it's a Tapmi program, you'll find the quality is absolutely top class. Ishwar Haritas, who runs the strategy area and under which this program area, which the program falls, our commitment is to build this program like we did with the BKFS and the HR program, the MSM program, to take it to very different scale. And let me also tell you that we are working with several schools in Europe. We are working with several schools in Asia Pacific for exchange programs. Mahe, so we are now part of the Manipal Academy of Higher Education. So the university has 250 MOUs with top universities around the world. And in the month of March, we'll be traveling to Europe to sort of cementize or concretize these these relationships, where you will be able to spend a term, or rather a semester, in some of these schools. So that's a quick sort of rundown on what the IBA program is.
Srinidhi, will you allow me just to add one observation from the placements office? Okay, just to add on to whatever Professor Madhu just mentioned. So the current IB, the first batch is appearing for the internships, but you'll be interested to know that. So you'll be interested to know that basically the IB cohort has access to the same recruiter pool, right? And also we're building new recruiters into that pool, right? So some of the recruiters who had come, when they heard about the IB program, actually they were very interested to hire for finals. But unfortunately, the first year is still ongoing. So I just want to highlight that there is some interest for IB, the IB skill set, even in the existing recruiter pool. So that's what I would like to, share from placement office. Thank you.
So on that context, we have another question. Somebody has asked, kindly guide what international collaborations Tapmi has done in the last few years. Yeah. So there's a question which says, kindly guide what international collaborations Tapmi has done in the last few years.
Okay, so we have collaborations come across in multiple ways. One is, of course, exchange programs, as I told you, with the ESC RAN and Macquarie and other schools, both in Australia and in Europe. But collaborations also happen in terms of faculty, producing and collaborating with faculty from other schools in the world, right? So we have faculty who publish with colleagues at MIT Sloan, London Business School, at Melbourne, at Monash, at Hong Kong University. So, these collaborations also happen that way. And our faculty also have a lot of global exposure. So we bring all of that in terms of internationalizing the curriculum. We bring all of that into our classrooms. We bring this global research into classes. We also bring in excellent case study, which is a standard pedagogy that we follow across all 5 programs into our programs. So you'll find that one of the reasons why I think most Indian students don't prefer to have an exchange program is the placement season, right? So in a 2-year program, you have this placement season that starts in term 5, because of which a lot of international exchange programs don't take place. But once you have a semester system, I think that makes a lot of sense. So you will find when you come to Tapmi, particularly for an IB cohort student, we are not offering a term program like we have other 4 programs. In the IB, it is semester. So you have 2 semesters in first year, 2 semesters in second year. That's how we have structured it. So you will get excellent opportunities to go out and do collaborative terms or semesters if you choose to do that. But it will not be possible in the first year. These opportunities are available to you in the second year.
We have a lot of questions which are circling around sectional cutoffs for getting shortlisted for GD and PI.
Yeah, thanks, Srinidhi. I'll take a few of those questions. So we do not have a sectional cutoff as such. We are looking at the total score. I also see that there are questions around, can a fresher apply with fresher with no work experience apply? Surely you should apply if you have a good score, your good communication skills, you are looking forward, you have clarity in your mind about pursuing a management education. Please do apply. Of course, all our batches, they have generally around 45% people who are with experience, and even more than 50% people who do not have experience. So that is not a problem at all. Someone is asking, is it mandatory to stay in the hostel? Yes, we are a residential B school, so we do have excellent hostels, and most of the hostel rooms have AC fitted with them. There are attached bathrooms. So please ensure that the program itself is residential. So you need to be in the hostels. Another candidate is asking whether NMAT scores are considered only for the MBA program. No, NMAT scores will be considered for all the 5 programs. That is not a problem. Is the form editable? Yes. So once you receive your CAT score, once you receive your ZAT score, please remember that you will have to go log into your form and make the change, that you ensure that you are uploading your latest score that you have about the CAT or the ZAT. I think there's also a question about co-curricular activities. Professor Madhu, if you would like to take that.
So, of course, as a top B school, it's important that you don't just learn stuff in the classroom. It's also things outside the classroom. There are approximately 36, if I remember correctly, committees that we have. So you get outstanding opportunities to demonstrate leadership, right from if you are a writer or an artist or a painter or a musician or content developer. I mean, you have phenomenal opportunities. Every discipline, every area has its own forum. The finance area has its forum, the marketing area, the analytics area, ops area, HR area. So you can also sort of work in forums if you're interested. Of course, then you also have Sudhir's team, which is the placement team, which takes approximately 40 students to work on the corporate engagement activities. There is opportunities there. We have journals that you can edit. Again, building your CV and upskilling. So all those opportunities are available. There is actually there's Omega, there's consulting opportunity, there is opportunities to work with communities. If you want to do sort of NGO work, so you name it and you'll find an opportunity at Tapmi. That much I can assure you.
Yeah, just to add, the recruiters look at your participation in the committees that Professor Mahmood just mentioned as a big positive point when they look at your profile, right? So your participation in several communities, more than one, or depending on the rules, is very important for you to have that all around development and a very good presentation to the recruiter.
There's one last question which I would like to take, and we can wrap up due to the constraint of time. This question is on the placements. Basically, there is one person who has asked, what is the percentage of people getting placed as a management consultant and who are the top recruiters? Also, please share where we can find the detailed report of placement.
Okay, the last part, which is placement reports for the previous batches, they're all there on the website. They can go to the Tapmi website and get into the placement and corporate engagement menu, and they should be able to see the previous year's placement reports, right? With respect to the management consultants, yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the consulting sector, that is including business consulting, tech consulting, and functional consulting, it's approximately around 40%. But the key recruiters, again, it keeps changing, varying every year. But you have the big four coming in, you have the big techs also coming in, and most of these financial institutions also coming for consultant roles. So you have very, very diverse set of recruiters offering diverse set of roles in management consulting, and this is the largest pool of profiles that we receive as a part of placement cycle. So that should answer the question. And we'll be putting up the detailed recruiters, the logos and so on. So you should be able to also check out the key recruiters there as well. Thank you.
So we will take the last question where a couple of students are asking whether NRIs can apply. Sure, NRIs can definitely apply. Please get in touch with the admissions office. We have already shared the email ID and the website. In the brochure, you will find a little bit of detail about how NRIs can apply, but definitely get in touch with our office. Write to us. We'll contact you back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to all of you for joining. I hope the session was useful, provided you with some insights or inputs for you to make a decision. If there is anything else we can do to sort of make your journey even more interesting, do let us know. Of course, the admissions office will be able to take your calls or messages if you require any clarifications. Sudhir, also I'll request, if you have any specific placement queries, you can write to them, but I'm sure the admissions will also circulate all the placement data to you fairly soon. We wish you all the very best. I'm sure we'll have more such sessions with all of you. It'd also be nice if you could kindly give a quick feedback at some point to say what other aspects would you have liked us to cover today. Today, of course, being the first time, I wanted to give you a sneak peek about what Tapmi is, why this is a school that you want to choose, why this should be a destination of choice. So I sort of made a pitch for you to get an understanding of accreditation rankings, the faculty, the sort of competitions that we run, the sustainability focus, the 5 different programs. So it is a bit of information, I agree, but you should be able to internalize this information set and then let us know if there's anything else we can do. But whichever school you go to, we wish you the very best. Obviously, we'll be delighted to welcome you to our own school. And I hope to see you all again when we have the next session. Thank you very much and have a fantastic weekend ahead. Thanks.